You don't like the way your husband talks to you, but when you get to the office, your boss talks to you in a terrible way and tells you, I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you want to go home today. I want this document on my table at 2 p.m. What do? You bring the document at 1:30. You submit. You don't have a problem submitting in your office. You don't have a problem submitting to an inanimate object, a traffic light. But you have a problem submitting to a human being. And so when women have this whole argument about women should not submit, I'm amused. The only reason why you're complaining about submission is because the person you chose to submit to is a tyrant. If the person you chose to submit to is actually loving you, he wants to take care of you. He wants to be, I will say it over and over again. I'll say it a million times. I know I always get, flack for these things when I say them. But I honestly don't believe in feminism in marriage. I don't believe in it. I don't see the point. What are we fighting about? Why do you want to be equal to a man? He says he wants to pay all your bills. You say, why shouldn't women be allowed to? Oh, please pay it, sir. I will be putting sir for you. You want to pay the bills? Thank you, sir. Oh, be a baby girl. Did they swear for you? If someone wants to take care of you, by all means, allow him to take care of you. All he wants is respect. And you should respect everyone anyway. There are people who even respect that don't take care of you. Your boss in the office, not that they think. No, they are paying you because you are working.
Felicity, if I thought you were vibrating at the earlier video, this time around, you are more than a Nokia 3310.
Vibranium.
Vibrating. I mean, I think from those quarters, that's not even surprising.
Yeah, I'm a bit like...
You're immune to it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing as well.
From which quarters?
The religious.
The religious quarters, yes.
Because, like, they're always, the pastors especially love to talk about women need to submit to their husbands, and they conveniently forget the next one, which actually says that you must submit to each other. Right in Ephesians 2:23.
Preach on, darling.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
You people, so go and look at it. I know your pastor might have not told you, so go and read it yourself. Don't believe my word for it. So I think, I'm not surprised, but it's just, I find this is like, when your husband talks to you, the reality is that within a marriage, within any relationship, there should be respect. Each of you should respect each other. So I don't understand why it should be a problem. If I can say to my husband, oh, Kofi, can you take this for me? Why can't he also say, oh, Amma, can you do that for me? Why should it? If there's conflict there, It has nothing to do with this because he's paying you and he's a husband. And the workplace has a clear hierarchy. I don't believe that there should be a hierarchy in marriage. I believe that you're equal partners. You are partners. So one of you might be more competent in other areas than the other, but you complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. So I don't think that there's any need for a hierarchy. So there should be respect from both sides. So I feel like it's neither here nor there regarding, oh, you talk like this to your boss. My boss is paying me. I can get sacked. If you feel like I'm talking to you anyhow in a marriage,
your husband ain't giving you chop money?
Then divorce me.
Wow.
If you can't take it, or if I talk to you in a way
Felicity, that's a bit harsh.
If you talk to me in a way I don't, but I feel like both.
Felicity, that's a bit harsh.
No, I respect you, so respect me. And if you feel like I'm too disrespectful,
then you can
your
find your way
choice
out.
is divorce. And equally, if you disrespect me, I can also decide that Charlie, it won't work out.
So you say respect on both sides.
Yeah.
And Sika, you live it.
She's living it. Sika, what do you say?
Respect on both sides.
But today
Bullying Mr. Douglas in the house.
She's like,
Are you bullying him?
she's like, respect on
To be
both
fair,
sides.
he reported me to my mom recently. He said, Mommy, this is what I'm living in. I'm like, you better come on, keep quiet over there. No, definitely. I think I agree. Respect on both sides. Like you said, the husband should treat the wife or should love the wife the way he loves the church. And with love comes respect, comes patience, comes kindness, comes all of those things, and vice versa. I think this issue of submission is one which is so shaky. People tend to sort of not truly understand, I feel, what the Bible really means about submission and when a woman should even submit in whatever way or form. People don't read the Bible in its entirety to be able to understand that you're not just supposed to submit to your husband just by virtue of the fact that he's your husband. There's certain things that a husband has to do. There's certain roles. There's certain things that God has asked him to do within the marriage. And if he does that, a wife submits.
I hope money's part.
I won't submit, but I'll still take his money.
A marriage.
I won't submit, but I'll still take his money.
A wife submits automatically, and that's it. If you're being loved well, if you're being loved the way you're supposed to be loved, there's nothing that you probably wouldn't do.
There are
for
some
your
women that you
husband.
can love in all forms, shapes, sizes, and the submission will never come. You can do whatever. Here, lie down. Let her walk on you.
Yeah.
Whatever. And the submission will not
But this
come.
is a character trait that you probably should have seen
you know,
prior to getting
exactly.
into
So
that
it's
marriage.
it's definitely not the you know, regular one size fits all approach. And so this whole that religion thing Felicity mentioned, of course, that one there, you always say, even when you're getting married, that day they will hammer on it and tell you that, oh, blah 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 blah. It's part of the whole process. We
But doesn't
understand
it work both ways? Even
Of course,
husbands
I
go to the
totally
office
agree.
and they speak to their bosses in a certain way, and then they come home and they speak to their wives in a different way.
Exactly. I think he could have done that analogy as well.
It goes both
Because
ways.
it's misogyny.
You know something?
That's
This
why.
is something I feel it's been there today. There, my you know, yes, I get where you ladies are coming from, and of course that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But the thing is that there's no way this whole submit to each other thing. Then maybe we are the generations that will change that whole concept and realize that. Of course, I mean, if I'm in a relationship with someone or if my husband, it should go both ways. Respect me, I respect you, but not to say that if you do not respect me, I will not respect you.
You know, somebody made a statement once that actually got me thinking. And they said, this is the generation that married for love, right? We marry, we're like, oh, I'm so in love with the person, you know, and we want to have, and prior to getting into marriage, you want to feel that, oh, this is the person that truly sees me, truly loves me, truly respects me. And then probably back in the day, it was more obligation.
Absolutely. So
So
you've hit
the
the nail
word
right on the
of
head.
submission has sort of evolved over time.
Yeah, and like, for example, like my grandma, you know, she's married to my granddad. She was a nurse, but then she decided to become a, you know, stay-at-home mum. My granddad was an accountant. He was the one bringing in all the money. So when he was cheating, doing his own things, the reality is that she stayed. You know, and this is some she talks about proud. She spoke about very proudly. But the reality, what were her real options? She was also taking care of some of like her own siblings and then taking care of her home. What were her real options? Whereas now, if you're a woman, you're earning on your own, you have your own financial, you know, capacity, you might not make the same decisions. So sometimes the reason why marriages are changing is because the roles of women and men have also changed, where lots of our grandmas, our mums were stay-at-home mums who didn't really have any real income. And also, I feel like society is also warming up a bit. There's less stigmatization. Of course, there's still stigmatization when you get divorced, but I think that more families are more embracing of women who say, okay, this marriage is not for me, I want to leave, and it's because there's some, you know, where, so they feel like there's a safe space for them to go to, because if you want to leave a marriage, you don't have any money, your family is like, we don't believe in divorce, where are you going? Where are you going? So if more families are embracing of the fact that, you know, marriage does not make you a woman, does not make you complete, does not make you somebody, and you're still complete with or without those things, then women are going to be able to leave marriages when it doesn't serve their interest.